Imagine opening your eyes one morning and realizing that the life you were living doesn't actually belong to you. Every step you've taken, every compromise you've accepted, every role you've played has been shaped to meet the standards of others. Yet deep within you, a quiet voice has always existed, suppressed by duties, the search for validation, and the fear of letting people down. Then comes a single instant when everything shifts. It feels like a veil has been lifted and reality is revealed. You see clearly that your whole life has been dedicated to others while your own self was left behind. Carl Jung once said that the greatest journey we can take is the inward one. But choosing yourself is never simple. It demands courage to face fears, to stop pleasing everyone else, and to say no to what doesn't reflect your true spirit. And it is exactly here that transformation begins today. I invite you to take this profound path with me, to see what unfolds when you finally put yourself first. The road will not be easy, but one thing is undeniable: your life will never look the same again. Before we start, remember to subscribe to the Mental Dose channel and join our Telegram community so you can keep receiving guidance for personal and spiritual growth. Here you will find insights that inspire challenge and change the way you see your world. Now let S begin. There comes a point in life when suddenly something inside you cracks. Staring into the mirror, you realize you've been living for everyone else. You said yes when you longed to say no. You buried your own desires just to fit into other people. As visions of you, you sought approval instead of truth. You changed yourself just to be accepted, forgetting the one person who mattered most, yourself. And then the break arrives, an emptiness. You can to push away your deeper self calls out, whispering, "What if I chose me?" It is such a simple question, but it carries the power to spark transformation. Carl Jung, one of the great minds of modern psychology, reminded us that true fulfillment comes only when we discover ourselves. But this path toward authenticity is never easy, because choosing yourself is more than a personal act. It is a revolution. Once you decide to honor yourself first, I'll see how the world reacts. Some will doubt you. Others will feel unsettled by your confidence. They may accuse you of being selfish or claim you have changed. But the truth is, you are not changing you. We're simply returning to who you always were. The difference is people had grown used to your compliance, your constant sacrifices, and your endless approval. Once you set boundaries, say no, and choose your own direction, their balance is shaken, not because you were wrong, but because your transformation forces them to reflect on their own lives. And not everyone is ready for that. Jung knew well that walking authentically would not bring everyone along, but those who stay will see the real you, beyond the role you once played for years. You searched for confirmation outside yourself. You tried to become what others wanted, believing love and respect would come only this way. But the truth is, your strength was never outside. It has always been within. When you finally choose yourself, something remarkable happens. You see that you don't need to prove anything anymore. You stop fearing judgment, rejection, or not being enough. You begin saying no without guilt. You end the chase for approval, and you uncover the deepest freedom to live aligned with your truth. Jung spoke of individuation, the process of becoming your most authentic self, not the version society shapes, not the person your family expects, but the self that echoes from your soul. The gift of this process is liberation. You feel lighter, stronger, and more connected to your essence because for the first time your steps are aligned with your real path. Every choice you once made was bound by fear of rejection, by the hope of being accepted. But once you choose yourself, the past loses its grip. You no longer feel the need to explain who you are. You stop fearing those who don't understand, and you no longer try to fill the void with others. approval, because you discover the fundamental truth: you are enough. Jung taught that this path takes courage, the courage to stop searching outside and to listen within. Have you ever noticed that when you make a truly authentic choice, life seems to align, new people appear, new doors open, and things fall into place almost magically? Jung called this synchronicity. When you choose yourself, life responds, energies adjust, wrong paths fade away and the right ones appear. This is not magic, but the natural result of living in harmony with your essence. But remember, synchronicity doesn't mean the road is easy. Obstacles will still arise. Doubts will creep in, the old and the new will clash inside you. People will try to pull you back. Fears will resurface, and yet, it is in those very moments that you must trust what you feel. When life flows, when doors open, when people arrive exactly when you need them, it is not random. It is proof that you are aligned with your real self. One of the hardest parts of choosing yourself is that at first it feels lonely, but solitude is not an enemy. It is a chance to meet yourself again, to heal, to create the life you truly want. And then something shifts. You start to love your own presence. You realize you no longer need toxic attachments. You no longer accept less than you deserve, because you understand a powerful truth: you are enough always. At first, this loneliness feels heavy, like an empty space you want to fill. But if you resist the pull to run back to old patterns, you discover that this space is not a void, it is freedom, it is possibility. This is where true transformation blooms. You awaken passions, long-forgotten desires, buried too long. And when you stop fearing solitude, everything changes. You no longer seek someone or something to complete you, because you realize you were always whole. Jung left us another timeless message, perhaps the most profound: who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes. The life you long for will never be born from outside approval or the fear of letting others down. It comes only from the brave decision to choose yourself. If these words resonate with you, know that this is only the beginning. The road may be long, but it is yours and yours alone. So let me ask, are you ready to make the choice that changes everything? If this message touched you, share it with someone who needs to hear it, because the world desperately needs more people who dare to live as themselves. Choosing yourself is an act of quiet revolution. It means breaking free from living for others and daring to live in alignment with your soul. Yes, it can be hard. Yes, it can feel lonely, but it leads to a life of depth, truth, and meaning. Fear of change will whisper to stay the same. It will cling to the comfort of old patterns, but staying trapped in a life that isn't yours is far more painful than facing the unknown. Jung reminded us that great change comes when we look inward, when we listen to our inner voice, embrace our shadows, and transform them into power. There will never be a perfect time to begin. The perfect time is always now. You do not need all the answers. You do not need to see the whole road. You only need to take the first step, a step back toward yourself, toward the freedom to be who you are. If you feel stuck today, know this: every transformation begins with a choice. The choice to stop settling and start living for what truly matters to you. If this message gave you value, share your thoughts in the comments. Tell us what choosing yourself means to you. Your story may inspire another soul on their path. Remember, life doesn't wait for perfection. Life begins the very moment you decide to be yourself. We hope this video has offered you guidance and inspiration. Don't forget to subscribe to the Mental Dose channel and join our Telegram for more wisdom and spirituality. And if this spoke to you, share it with someone who needs it. Thank you for being part of this journey. We'll see you in the next video.